Do you have any confidence that if Donald Trump started pardoning everybody, if he fired Mueller, do you really think that the Republican-led Congress would impeach Donald Trump or convict Donald Trump?
I don't believe they would, Nicole, but it would precipitate a constitutional crisis, and it would cross the line where impeachment would be the only practical remedy to the president's assault on the Constitution. And then what I think would happen is the 2018 election would become a referendum on that question. And I think every Democrat in the country running for office would have to make clear their position on it. And I think that when you look at the electorate, you would see the formation of a broad coalition who stands in opposition to this president's assault on the Constitution, if that were to be the case.
Steve, I've seen folks like former Congressman David Jolly, folks like yourself, Mark Salter, our former colleague from the McCain campaign, say that basically a Democrat-controlled Congress is the only option for any sort of check on Donald Trump, and that it should make any differences in policy, economic or social, moot. That if you don't support some check on this White House, you don't support democracy.
Look, at the end of the day, I think those are the dynamics that the country's facing in 2018. The question isn't about domestic policy. The question is fundamentally about the Constitution of the United States, this president's increasingly erratic behavior, the complicity of a Republican Congress, the absolute unwillingness, with a few exceptions, for Republicans to state out loud what so many of them believe privately, that he's manifestly unfit, that he's attacking institutions from the press to the judiciary, that he's interfering in investigations. We now know for sure that he brazenly lied to the American people on the question of Russia, as Christine Welker's question points out. What we know for sure is that we live in a time now of present danger to our institutions, to our Republican order. And I do think that there will be a coalition of Democrats, independents, and a significant, certainly not a majority, but a significant percentage of Republicans who stands in opposition to this come November in 2018.
And Steve, specifically on Mike Flynn pleading guilty to lying to the FBI. The document's also making clear that they've got him on other things, such as lying about his business on behalf of Turkish officials. We've talked this week, I believe, about the sort of tragic fall from grace of this combat, a veteran of combat and 33-year career in the military. But can you talk specifically about the body of work, Mike Flynn's body of work on the Trump campaign, and why he would be so valuable to Bob Mueller that he would only charge him with a fraction of what people believe Bob Mueller knows about him?
We don't know yet, but the way this works, the pyramid gets narrower the higher you go. So it's not about turning state's evidence to get Hope Hicks. There's only a couple people higher on that pyramid than Mike Flynn, who is indispensable in this campaign. And he made him the national security advisor, despite President Obama saying don't do it, despite Sally Yates saying he's compromised, despite Governor Christie saying I have a bad feeling about him. He has brought dishonor and discredit to this administration. This is a compromised national security advisor who lied to the FBI about his contacts with the Russian ambassador in the middle of an investigation about whether the Trump campaign colluded with the Russians. It's impossible to overstate what a big deal this is, how important it is. And once again today, this moves closer to the Oval Office, and we see the unraveling of all the lies, the president's lies, the vice president's lies, the attorney general's lies, and we see an administration that has a nonstop proclivity to lying. Now we're seeing the criminal consequences of it.